Back at it again with another What If Dalamadur was in the Monsterverse, the Kong Special Part 2 finale. As again, I do have one for Godzilla and Dalamadur teaming up against two invading forces here. So without further ado, let us begin. The last time we left off here, we had the Titan Hunter actually finding where Kong and his new family pretty much reside here, residing in this little oasis area where they are feasting and playing with, well, playing in the water and feasting on a dead, drowned viper that they just recently killed together. And so, with that being said here, this is what I would actually have happen. As the kaiju are pretty much playing here, the Titan Hunter gets a malicious smile on his face here. He has them, and he has this new one as well. All four quarries, and a bonus as well here. He kills them, he could probably take on Godzilla at this point. And he is so, like, he's confident, he's overconfident as a fact. And so this is where he actually uses all his anti-kaiju missiles and pretty much bombards them here. However, quick thinking and reflexes here, Baragon spews out his fire breath and actually counters them all here. And so this is where we actually see the kaiju ready themselves here. Sanda and Goraya and Kong go for their respective weapons, while Gorosaurus and Baragon actually go to charge at the Titan Hunter here. Now, seeing the sheer fact that they all have each other here, the Titan Hunter is actually now on the back foot immediately as Baragon charges for one of its legs here. The Titan Hunter has no choice but to step aside or either jump out of the way here. However, this puts him in the vicinity for Gorosaurus to deliver a gravity-defying drop kick to the Titan Hunter, causing him to, well, go crashing through the woods that they're around here. And so this is where Sanda and Goraya both come in with their respective weapons here from a Death Runner and another kaiju. And so they begin to slash and basically bludgeon the Titan Hunter here. And this is where Kong comes in with his, basically his charge blade. I'm just saying, y'all are going to love the kaijus that they are made out of here, okay? And so he's actually able to not only slash into the Titan Hunter, but to simply just counter and bludgeon him here. And this is where I would have to say the Titan Hunter just gets absolutely dismantled and just torn apart at this point here. I mean, I would actually say it was a good way to show the consequences of someone's actions here. And unfortunately for the hunter himself here, yeah, I know I forgot his name, but again, he really isn't that much of an important character, and I kind of realized that in the last chapter here. The hunter actually does try to get away here. So he actually ejects himself as the kaijus are tearing apart his pod here, understanding that he has to get back the Hollow Earth energy to, well, Tywin Lannister over here. And so, with that being said here, he tries to get it, but gets eaten by that same tree that ate the military guy in Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire. Yeah, so the leader of the hyenas is pretty much wondering where he is here, if he's even alive here. However, when he looks at the monitor, he sees that the Titan Hunter is online. And using the old footage here, he actually begins to see that it was Kong and the rest of these four kaiju that pretty much have dismantled and torn apart his Titan Hunter here. And so he pretty much curses to the screen here. So just filled with anger and is pissed off here. He said he knew that guy was a failure, but he didn't think he was this much of a failure. Like, dang, dude, that was still your best hunter. I don't care. He failed me, and he failed me miserably here. And so this means that they might even be compromised. However, he maintains his more, I guess you could say, gritty and stoic demeanor here, and pretty much states that they should be fine. They should be fine here. There's no way they're going to discover the facility, right? Right? But unfortunately for them here, this is where Baragon and Gorosaurus then get an idea. They could go to the facility where they were once held and just destroy it. And so relaying this to the others here, they actually begin to, well, think about this here. And so this is where Gorosaurus, Sanda, Goraya, and Baragon go to the facility. However, Kong senses something coming from the surface here, something calling him. It sounds like a member of his own species, but he doesn't really know exactly here. And so this is where Kong states that he'll catch up with them later and actually leaves for the surface of the Hollow Earth, while Sanda, Goraya, and Gorosaurus and Baragon all go to that facility. Let's actually make this part quick here. See, Gorosaurus and the rest of the group here, when they make their way to the facility, they are met with constant bombardment from the anti-kaiju missiles here. However, thanks to Baragon's flames and the fact that he can burrow here, he's actually able to tear apart these auto turrets or these anti-missile, turrets or whatever, anti-kaiju missile turrets, excuse me, and just burn them all away here. This then leaves the other three, to just tear apart the facility like it's nothing here. And so any worker that survives has no choice but to really leave or scatter or find some remnants to get themselves out of the Hollow Earth here. However, with them destroying the facility, some of the kaiju around them are released here. Even some of the smaller ones like Death Jackals, Volt Panthers, and Lava Jackals here. And so this actually makes a very horrifying scene, as they are the size of humans and they don't discriminate about what they're going to eat. So it's a bloody massacre at the end of it here, taking out the Hyena Corporation or the Hyena Eco-Terrorist Group or whatever, just easily. Unfortunately, but that's just, that's honestly just how it is. So, yeah, unfortunately, that really is just how it goes here. And so, with that being said here, they now wonder what has become of Kong and decide that they could just return to their old territory for now. But now you might ask yourself, where is Kong? Well, he's in the city. He's in a populated city here. And so this is where we get a few parts of Kong Survivor's Instinct. Yeah, I know, not the best game in both concept and in quality as well here, but again, still part of the Monsterverse. Still gotta address it before I really get into the stuff I really need to do here. And so with that being said here, Kong does what he originally did in original. He begins searching around looking for the Titan that might even be one of his own kind here. However, it's revealed to be that Tiamat was calling the other Titans here to, help her find her daughter, Titanus Lahamu. And so, with that being said here, how would that actually go? Well, with Kong here, I think Kong would actually perform a Zilla Jr., if you guys get what I mean here. Understanding that Lahamu needs help here, Tiamat needs help here to find Lahamu, Kong would do exactly that here. Now, I do think he would definitely have to scrap with Abaddon a little bit here. However, I'm going to add a couple more Titans to the situation so that we have a bit more quantifiable reasons here. We see Kong actually having to fight against Abaddon, Bunyip, and Methuselah, just to kind of give them more roles within the Monsterverse here. He still has to scrap with them here, just so that they get out of the city here. However, it's when Titanus Quetzalcoatl shows up that everything kind of goes awry. Her belly is now much bigger due to the constant mating that she's done with her lover Dalamadur. And so she kind of puts everyone in check here and even asks Kong what he's doing on the surface here. To which Kong states that he's trying to find Lahamu here. And so this is when Mothra shows up and, like in the original, Godzilla shows up on one end while Dalamadur surfaces on another here. His towering form simply just scolding on Tiamat here, asking her, why the heck did you call these other Titans? To which Tiamat, albeit submissively, does explain to Dalamadur that right now she's trying to look for her daughter. To which Dalamadur softens up and simply rolls its eyes here before the rest of them actually go ahead and do trash the city looking for Lahamu here. To which, unlike in the original, it's not going to take a human character to actually do something like this here. The Titans working together more methodically here are actually able to find Titanus Lahamu and, reunite her with Tiamat here. This means that Dalamadur does have some thinking to do here. The Titans are still a little bit active here. And so they are feeding. They are getting their nutrition back here. But again, it's coming at the cost of the humans here. And so, even giving Godzilla a look, he kind of understands what Godzilla had to go through as the former Alpha Titan here. There isn't enough resources per se, but there is enough for the Titans to really sustain themselves here. And so, with that being said here, this leads Dalamadur to making a decision. He wants the other Titans to go back to their territories and for now rest until he needs them to really just come up and about here. And so, giving that kind of roar here, Dalamadur then goes around making sure every Titan is asleep here. And so Kong returns to the Hollow Earth while Godzilla and Mothra return to their territories. However, this does change one little thing. Quetzalcoatl. She actually lays her eggs within the Himalayan mountains here. Well, Dalamadur was originally, in hibernation here. And so her and Dalamadur both coil around the eggs, providing warmth here. Considering Dalamadur's, body would exhibit heat due to his star breath here, he is able to provide a nestled warmth for his two offspring here. And so he can't wait, in all honesty, to just raise these children alongside Quetzalcoatl here. And so, where does Kong go after this here, after he returns to the Hollow Earth? Well, reuniting with the others here, Kong, taking a different way here, finds something interesting. A handprint. It's not his. It's not Sanda's. It's not Garaya's here. And so, when he, pinches it and, sniffs the, I guess you could say, the residue of it, he looks in shock and finds out that there really are other Kongs in the Hollow Earth here, and they come through here. So, making his way back to the rest of the group here, where he's greeted with love and care, he actually tells the others that he found his kind, and he found a way to possibly reach them here. And so, this is where the group actually begins to gear up, or at least, the two gargantuans gear up and give Kong his Gurian sword and his Kamibis shield. Again, very cool weapons in my opinion here. I mean, just imagine a shield made out of the shell of Kamibis and a sword taken from the spine and skull of Gurian, but reinforced to the point where it can't break. Ah, yes, such a wonderful combination here. And they begin to make their way into the subterra levels of the Hollow Earth. And so this does change a couple things here. Number one, Kong has more weaponry, and he has friends in this one here. So when Kong makes his way towards the area and meets Zuko for the first time here, it's actually met with more, skepticism. Zuko still bites Kong, and the Kongs do try to jump the rest of the kaiju here, but they're quickly dealt with here. Kong tries to save the one that was falling here, but it tries to stab him, and, he pretty much shield bashes it, and, he falls over, unfortunately, and, does die. As for the other Kongs, Gorosaurus picks one up in his jaws and just ragdolls it like Rexy ragdolled that human, killing it. And then Santa and Garaya actually jump one, beating it and just slashing it to death here, while Baragon grabs one by its neck and burrows it underground, just killing it by the impact alone itself here. So when he surfaces here, it's just with a more wrangled and rigid Kong. It's nasty work. It's nasty work. But with that being said here, this is where they have now Zuko. With Zuko now seeing the fact that these kaiju and, this Kong here works together here, he reluctantly has no other choice but to lead them back to his daddy, the Scar King. And so everything plays out a bit differently here. They actually see the structure of the Kongs living here. It's a lot more darker, a lot more, I guess you could say, grittier than it was in the original here. The reason why is because Scar King is actually meant to represent the worst that kaijus have to offer, just the way humans are meant to represent the worst we have to offer, you know? We have the worst of humanity, like, you know, Diddy. We're just going to leave it at that. But again, with Kong, or with the Scar King here being like a slave master, if you will, even beheading and putting Kongs on spikes here, likely due to the sheer fact that they challenged him or didn't want to obey him here, so he made examples out of them here. The group makes their way here, and well, they're all looked at with shock and contempt from some of the higher ranking members of this Kong group here, but some of them look at them with hope and maybe some glee. Maybe they're here to help them. And so when Kong rocks the one ape that was trying to yap to him and everything here, yeah, this happens just like in the original here. However, unlike the original, Scar King is a lot more cautious. And well, yeah, Kong still has his... Actually, no, he wouldn't. He wouldn't have his metal tooth here because he never got literally beaten badly and thrashed by Godzilla here. I think he would still have his scars, but not so much that he lost an entire, you know, tooth and stuff like that there and needed a metal one here. So nah, he should be honestly, he should be fine in this time. Like, he should be a lot healthier, in matter of fact, here. So, with that being said here, yeah, there's no tooth poke from Scar King and disrespect here. But, again, when he tries to step to Zuko, Kong blocks him with his blade, telling him, nah, bro, step back real quick. We ain't harming little Mancy here. And so, this is where Scar King pulls out his whip here, and, well, they actually begin to fight. However, with Kong having a better grasp on these weapons in this timeline here, on this alternate Monsterverse universe here, he's actually able to not only block Scar King's whip, but actually weave around it and actually land a bludgeoning blow with his shield, because Scar King is temporarily dodging the sword. However, this blow actually breaks Scar King's nose and damages his teeth here. And so when Kong actually just charges at him and then pins him underfoot, he points his blade to his throat, signifying that he's lost. And, well, that should be it, right? However, Scar King slickly moves his hand to his crystals, and, well, this is where they actually see Shimo emerge here, still chained up and still held hostage like in the original here. However, Scar King, unfortunately and maliciously, tells Shimo to fire upon Kong here. However, when Shimo doesn't, you know, want to, Scar King grips the crystal tighter, and Kong wants him to let it go, but he's not going to. So before Kong stabs him, Shimo fires her ice breath, but Baragon steps in just in a split second earlier and launches his fire breath here, matching the Titan of Ice. All right, so again, I definitely think this would be a good role for Baragon. I guess everything's looking up good for him here. And so, seeing that Shimo is chained here, this is where Sanda, Gorai, and Gorosaurus begin to make their way over. However, Scar King, tells his troops to try and stop them here. And so, like in the original, or sorry, not like in the original. And so, as usual, the Gargantuan twins simply just do some tag team wrestling and get their way to Shimo here, or hold them off long enough for Gorosaurus to make its way to Shimo, and actually utilizing his superior jaw strength is actually able to bite Shimo free. And so, this then leaves Kong with another decision. He has to kill Scar King, and without any hesitation here, he simply drops the blade. Not stab it. He drops it, just letting the weight and the force of it just go right through Scar King's chest, killing him here. Any of the Scar King loyalists are just completely in shock at this point here. Their king is dead. And so Kong declares himself king of the apes here, and actually lets them choose whether they want to follow him or not. However, when Shimo's on his side, the rest of the apes go on his side as well here. And so Kong, Gorosaurus, Sanda, and Goraya, and Baragon all form this new council and easily get all of the Kongs out of Hollow Earth. Oh, and Shimo as well here. all pretty much getting the Kongs out of their chains, out of their oppression, and into the Hollow Earth, the surface area here. However, Scar King's loyalists don't follow him. They simply go their own way, as they pretty much form a different tribe, away from Kong and away from his leadership. Will they be problems in the future? Maybe, maybe. But at the end of the day here, Kong now not only has a new family, but has a new tribe as well here. Somewhere he can now start anew and start fresh here. And so everything is just looking a lot happier for Kong here. But hey, that's going to be all today, guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. And I'll see you guys for the next video. Peace.